Hey, what's happening, guys? I'm Parker. And this is the Power Acoustic
Gothic
GW3/10. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have seen my review of the Rockville K9, and this was the most requested sub for me to review, so I picked one up, and we're going to be seeing just what I think about it. Okay, let's get into the box. So in the last video, I used my little spring-loaded knife. I thought I would get tons of comments about what a dangerous and awful weapon this was, but I didn't get any, so please leave mean comments in the below about it. Thank you. Remember, guys, always cut away from yourself. Dang, guys. Normally these are clear, but they're kind of a bluish green looking color. Huh. Interesting. And there we have the box for the sub. First thing I want to say, I don't really want to compare this to other models, but compared to the K9 that I have, this box is a heck of a lot smaller. But I will say it's got some good weight to it. And just the reason I'm comparing is this sub does claim similar characteristics to the K9, so we'll take a look at it. Alright, so we've got a piece of paper here. Those are always good to have. So we have our warranty card. So this comes with a 1-year warranty if professionally installed, and a 90-day warranty if self-installed. Not cool. And here we go. A little manual. So it just breaks down kind of the different types and some of their characteristics. So this version is the dual 2-ohm sub. I could not find the dual 4-ohm sub, unfortunately. The reason I like a dual 4-ohm sub is you can wire it down to 2 ohms. Whereas a dual 2-ohm sub, you either got to wire it down to 1 ohm, or you got to wire it up to 4 ohms. And my amp is not really stable down to 1 ohm, so I'll have to wire it up to 4 ohms. But honestly, that's fine, because at 4 ohms, my amp pushes around 500 watts, which honestly I think is going to be plenty for this sub. But let's get into it. Alright. Well, nothing else in the box. So here it is, guys. Let's get it out of the bag. Okay, so here we go. I gotta say, it's not a bad looking sub. You know, for a 10-inch sub, it definitely looks like a really respectable sub. Yeah. So online, this is said that it can handle 2,000 watts max, or I'm sorry, 2,200 watts max, and 1,000 watts RMS. Yeah, I don't know about that, guys. As far as I can tell, this is not CEA compliant, and honestly, there is absolutely no way this thing can handle anywhere close to 1,000 watts RMS, at least not for an extended period of time, which is what an RMS rating is supposed to be about. But that being said, I bet you it could handle 500 watts. So this sub retails for about, I found it for around $72 online. It may be cheaper or a little more expensive now, but again, for a $72 sub, that is pretty cool. I feel like to get a kicker or anything, you know, of around this magnitude would definitely be a little bit more expensive. But you're also then getting, you know, a better brand, if you like kicker. maybe I should refer to something like Alpine or something else like that. But I'm just looking around at it. Let's see what we see. It's got a pretty nice magnet. I believe this is a 204 ounce magnet. It doesn't say anywhere on it, but it is a pretty good sized magnet. I know a lot of subs still have a small magnet and they'll put a big plastic piece over it to hide it. These people don't do that. Anyway, so this is a dual 2 ohm sub, dual voice coil. It has 2.5 inch voice coils, which is decent. That's what you see a lot of the mid-range subs having. It'd be nice to see ones with a 3-inch voice coil, but 2.5 will have to do. Well, let's get a close-up so y'all can really see what we got going. Okay, guys, so here's a lot more close-up of the sub. It's round, feels pretty nice. It definitely has some travel to it. It is woven and glued, or sewed and glued, however you want to talk about it. So that's really nice. I definitely like seeing it when they're sewed. I gotta say, when a sub is just glued, it ends up coming off, especially if it's a little higher excursion sub like this. Oh man. That is a soft center cap, and when I push it, I hear an air sound. I don't know where it's coming from, but that is not good, guys. The material of the cone itself is kind of a woven material. I don't know exactly what it is, but it doesn't feel too bad. It's pretty sturdy. I'm sure it'll get the job done. We have push type leads. If you're going to have leads, I like having push type. Sorry, the lighting is not great. Okay, guys, and then we have the wires going from the leads. Guys, I'm going to be honest, these things are tiny. There is no way 1,000 watts, or, sorry, 500 for each side, are going to go through these wires. Absolutely no way. And then the leads do go through the cone. This part of the cone, I don't know if that's what it's called, I forget. But this part, it's actually pretty soft. And it's glued on there, but it's not glued on there very, very far. I don't know, guys. There's the bottom of it. I gotta say, the one good thing about this is the magnet. I'm not exactly sure what this, what the basket is made out of. I'm sure it'll be fine. I can't stand it when there's like a plastic basket or something, but I think that'll be a fine material. Should hold up and get the job done. Okay, guys, so we're going to be throwing this in a box, but first I'm going to go ahead and just test both leads and make sure that everything is working as it should be. So this is a dual 2 ohm, so each voice coil should be about 2 ohms. There we have right at 2.5, which is close enough. And there we go, 2.5. So both sides of the coils should be good. So we're going to take one side and put it to the negative. And on this other side, we're going to go to the positive. And then we're going to just test the two open leads with the multimeter. So that brings me up to about 4.6 ohms, and that should be perfect for my amp. That'll be pushing, in the 500 watt range, which I think will be plenty for this sub. There's no way I don't want to try 1,000 watts on this sub. So let's just say that for some reason you wanted to wire this sub down to 1 ohm. Well, I'm going to show you how to do that. we would take one wire going from our positive to our positive, and another wire going from our negative to our other negative. And then we would take our multimeter, and we would have two other lines just going from one of the positives and one of the negatives. And you can see that right there, that drops it down to 1.4 ohm. Now I could try this, but I just don't think my amp would really be stable to 1.4 ohm, so we're going to wire it to 4 ohms and test it out and see what it can do. Okay guys, well, we got it in the box. I'm going to put it in the car and let it run on some low power for a few days to let it break in, and then I'll record a few videos of kind of pushing it so we can see what this little guy can do. Okay guys, so we've had the sub in for a little over a week now, just been breaking it in, so we're going to go ahead and test it out and see what it can do. Once again, we got the car jumped because this car is pretty loud and it's hard to hear.
Nothing is always. Now let me see you. Now let me see you.
Okay, so there's a few songs played. As you can see here, it pushes some air for sure. So yeah, guys, you know, it's definitely not a bad sub, I'll say that. I don't think it would at all withstand 1,000 watts, you know, for a long period of time, but it really sounds good. It, you know, bumps hard for what it is, so definitely not a bad sub. I think I got it for around 77 bucks. I'll leave a link down in the description below where you can pick one up if you'd like to. But yeah, it's definitely a cool sub. If I had 2 of these in 12s in a ported box, like, this thing would be absolutely crazy, you know. But unfortunately, I don't. I might run some wires in the Jeep when I get some extra time. Try to put a dual 12 box in there, but I just really haven't had time recently to mess with that. But for a little tin inside a box. Oh, and this sub wants 1 cubic square foot for the optimal closed box. volume, and this box is just about a foot in every direction. So this is at least really close to the optimal size for this sub, just in case anyone was wondering. Yeah, guys, not a bad sub. I wish they would advertise it a little bit lower. Say it wasn't 1,000 watts RMS. I know they do that to get people to buy it, but I just don't feel like that's really a very realistic expectation to have from this sub. But again, for $77, it still really isn't a bad sub. Definitely pick one of these up if you like what you see. I'd say it definitely bumps for the price. More videos will be coming before too long. Let me know in the comments what you want me to review next, and maybe I'll pick one up. But anyway, guys, thank y'all, and hope y'all have a wonderful day. Peace.